All right, so one of my events, someone came up to me and they asked me, what do I do if my client treats me bad? And in this video, I'm gonna share with you exactly what to do and how to handle when a client doesn't respond to you, they're not answering your texts, your emails, your calls, and they just basically do no value and do not care about your time at all. All right, so there's really one main reason that your client isn't treating you well. They don't care, they're not responding, they're not like, they basically just have zero respect for your time. They're missing meetings, like you have calls scheduled, you have meetings scheduled, and they just miss them, and they really don't even care. And so there's one thing in the very beginning of that interaction that was completely missed. And so this is it. You missed one thing in the very beginning, and that's called posture. Like basically, they think that they're in control. They can make the decision anytime. They can buy your product, your service, your idea, whatever it is that you have. They think they can have it whenever they want, however they want. And basically, as you would say in relationships, like the breakfast is on their foot. Like the ball is in their court. They get to make the decision. And the reason that you care so much, and this is the reality, you may not like this, right? But the reason that you care so much is because you don't have a big enough pipeline. Like you just straight up don't have a big enough pipeline. And so you're focused, and I get it, you have a CRM and you have someone that you got to contact on a, every 3 days, every 7 days, every few months, every 6 months, depending on how long your sales cycle is. But your pipeline is not big enough, because if your pipeline was big enough, you wouldn't care, number one, and number two, you would have had more posture. So what do I mean by posture? Posture is when you hold the control of the sale. When you know that you are so confident in your product, in your service, or your idea, you hold the decision making of that product. Now you're going to qualify a client, right? You're going to talk to them, build relationship with them. You're going to find out what their goals are, what their needs, what their problems, what the things that are going on. And you're going to find out whether or not you are that solution. You can provide that solution 100%. But when you have posture, at the end of the day, you're the one that decides whether you move forward with them or not. And that's because you have such a big pipeline. You have so many potential clients that you decide. Now, I get it in some organizations and some sales, like you don't have a cap, you can do as many as you want, but it's still building enough posture where you make the decision. And everybody's like, I'm going to explain how to do that. But everyone says, clients are treating me bad. They're not giving me the time of day. They're wasting my time. That's because you haven't created yourself as an authority. Like, I don't care what it is you're selling, right? It doesn't matter. Like, you find out their problem, you find out their pain, and you decide whether you have the solution or not that fits, right? And of course, they have to have the budget and the means, and they have to want to do it, right? But once you're in that position, then it's on you, right, to make the decision of whether or not you're going to move forward with them or not. And the way to do that is to create desire and create yourself, right, as the authority. Like, you've got to be the authority in your industry. You've got to be so good that they can't resist. Like, it doesn't matter. And people are like, oh, well, I have way too much competition, like, no, who cares about competition? Competition doesn't matter because you are the best. Like, you are the best at what you do. So competition doesn't matter, right? So if you really think about this, the reason that clients don't treat you good is because you got the wrong mindset. You're worried about the competition. You're worried about what they think of you. You've got the best product, the best service. You are an authority. You are the best. Like, that's the mindset that you've got to have. And obviously, yes, you've got to have a good product. But think if you have that mindset going into a meeting where your meeting is to qualify, your meeting is to make sure they're the right fit. And then your goal is to provide a solution that's going to solve their problem where they don't care about anything else. Now, if you work at a big company, having great reviews, like a lot of people, and when they work for a big company, they're like, oh, well, my company, the leads aren't good, or my company says, they don't have a good website, or there's not good enough reviews. Well, then you have to do it. You have to create your own packet. You have to create your own reviews, right? Because at the end of the day, that's what they're looking at. They're looking at you. Like, yes, your product or your service can solve their problem, but they want to make sure that you're going to follow through. So how do you avoid clients who treat you bad? Come out as an authority, confident in what you have, believe in it, know it works, get really good at it if it's your service. If it's a product, make sure it is badass, like make sure it's awesome, and then hold posture. Like if someone says to you and misses a meeting, say, look, I have I have a 2-meeting no-show policy. If you don't show up for the second meeting in a business meeting, then we're not doing business with you. Like we're not going to do that. Our time is just as valuable as our client's time. Your time is just as valuable as your client's time. Now it's time that you have the mindset and you believe it yourself. This is Richie Contartesi with Relentless TV. I hope you enjoyed the show. If you want to see more episodes and get more awesome free content just like this, subscribe below.